Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the most explosive and controversial stories happening in the world of faith, fame, and unexpected scandal. Today, we're bringing you a story that is truly shaking up the church community and leaving many in disbelief. Evangelist Juanita Bynum, a respected voice in ministry, known for her powerful preaching and spiritual leadership, has just come forward with a stunning revelation. She's finally broken her silence about a disturbing hotel room encounter involving Pastor John Moore, and what she revealed has everyone talking. According to Juanita, Pastor John Moore entered her hotel room uninvited and saw her in her undergarments. Yes, you heard that right, he walked in without consent during a private moment, leaving her completely shocked and vulnerable. The question on everyone's mind: was it a misunderstanding, or something far more disturbing? Let's break it down. Juanita Bynum has long been seen as a spiritual warrior, strong, unshakable, and devoted to her faith. Over the years, she's captivated thousands with her raw and powerful sermons, never shying away from discussing the real, often difficult experiences that shape our lives. But this revelation takes that honesty to a new level. In a recent interview, she opened up about a moment in her past that she says has haunted her for years, a moment she can no longer keep hidden. The incident in question took place several years ago, while Juanita was traveling for ministry. Like many ministers, she was staying at a hotel during a busy schedule of speaking engagements. She'd just wrapped up an exhausting day, checked into her room, and was preparing to rest when something happened that she never expected. She claims Pastor John Moore, a fellow minister and someone she had known and trusted, walked into her hotel room without permission. And not only that, he walked in while she was in a private state, her undergarments exposed. According to Juanita, the encounter left her feeling violated and exposed on a deep level. "I didn't invite him into that space," she said during the emotional interview. "No one should ever be put in a situation where their privacy is violated like that." Her words were raw, her pain palpable, and her courage in finally speaking up has triggered a wave of conversation across church communities around the country. Initially, some people questioned her story. After all, Juanita and Pastor Moore had known each other for years. Their public relationship had always seemed respectful and professional. To many, the idea that such a violation could occur between two well-known and respected leaders in the church world seemed too hard to believe. Some wondered, was this simply a misunderstanding? Did Pastor Moore walk into the wrong room by mistake? Was this really intentional? But as Juanita continued to speak out, sharing her truth across interviews, sermons, and social media posts, the story gained traction. More people began listening. And soon, others who had been part of her ministry circle started to come forward, claiming they'd seen warning signs in Pastor Moore's behavior long before the hotel room incident. One associate of Juanita's claimed that Pastor Moore had crossed boundaries before, small but noticeable instances that made people feel uncomfortable. It wasn't just about that one night anymore. It was beginning to look like part of a pattern. As the story began to spread, public reaction was swift and divided. Supporters of Pastor Moore immediately jumped to his defense. They said the entire thing was being blown out of proportion. Some accused Juanita of exaggerating or trying to destroy his reputation for reasons unknown. A few even said this might be a personal vendetta between two former colleagues. But others weren't so quick to dismiss her claims. Many within the faith community began rallying behind Juanita, praising her bravery and encouraging her to keep speaking up. And that's exactly what she did. Juanita didn't stay silent. She didn't walk back her words. In fact, she leaned in harder, sharing more about how the experience affected her emotionally, spiritually, and professionally. She explained how it shook her faith and made her question the very foundation of trust she'd built with her peers in ministry. But perhaps what's even more important is that this moment became about something much bigger than just her and Pastor Moore. What Juanita did by speaking out was pull the curtain back on a larger, far more unsettling reality within the church community. Her story became a symbol, a lightning rod, for countless others who have experienced similar violations in silence. Across social media and church circles, more individuals, especially women in ministry, began to speak up. Some shared their own stories of having their boundaries crossed. Others talked about inappropriate behavior from clergy members who abused their positions of authority. And just like that, what started as one woman's painful story became part of a larger, deeply important conversation. "This isn't just about Pastor Moore," said one anonymous commenter. "This is about the misuse of power that's been happening in the church for decades, and no one wants to talk about it." And they're right. For far too long, uncomfortable truths like these have been hidden away, swept under the rug to avoid scandal or bad press. The church, a place that should be a sanctuary for healing and trust, has in some cases become a space where abuse of power goes unchecked. Juanita's revelation forced people to confront that reality. Her willingness to be vulnerable has empowered others to come forward with their stories. It's challenged church leaders to rethink the structures of accountability in place, or lack thereof. But make no mistake, this has come at a cost. Juanita Bynum's personal life has been picked apart by the media. Her ministry has faced criticism. She's had to endure backlash from those who say she should have kept this to herself. Yet she continues to insist that this isn't about revenge. It's not about taking someone down. In another interview, she said, "I'm not here to destroy anyone. But I won't stay silent when something like this happens. If we want to heal, if we want to move forward, we have to be honest with ourselves and with each other." And she's right. Healing can't happen if no one's willing to name the pain. As the media frenzy surrounding this story grows, it's clear that the conversation has shifted. This is no longer just about an uncomfortable encounter in a hotel room. It's about power. It's about respect. It's about transparency and accountability in spaces that have, for too long, been protected by silence. Supporters of Juanita Bynum see her as a trailblazer, someone who is taking on a system that has failed many of its most loyal believers. Critics, however, argue that her story is divisive and potentially damaging to the church's reputation. But whichever side of the debate you fall on, one thing is clear: this moment marks a turning point. It's a wake-up call to anyone who has looked the other way or remained silent in the face of wrongdoing. It's a reminder that no one, no matter how revered, should be above accountability. So what happens next? Well, that's up to all of us. Will the church take this as an opportunity for growth, healing, and reform? Or will it try to bury yet another story that's too uncomfortable to face? Juanita Bynum has made her choice. She's telling her truth. She's shining a light on a dark corner of church culture that desperately needs to be examined. And whether people want to hear it or not, her voice is being heard. One thing is for sure, this story is far from over. So what do you think? Was this a case of a tragic misunderstanding, or a chilling example of boundary crossing and abuse of trust? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more breaking stories that shine a light on faith,